Hey everyone, I'm Ross Chastain, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Ag to Asphalt, presented by Fresh from Florida. Now remember, we're going to be releasing these episodes every other Thursday on the Like a Farmer YouTube page and wherever you listen to your audio podcasts. We're back at the studio at the farm from Darlington. What's up, Ben?
Hey, how's it going?
It's cool. It is windy outside. Pollen is literally blowing across the road.
It's insane. We were just talking about it before, but the amount of times I feel like I have to wash my car now, which I just got a new car, so I feel like I can actually wash it now, is insane of how bad the pollen is. Because you can wash it, but then overnight it just gets covered again. There's no point.
Did you go with a nice modest color that's very easy to hide pollen?
Nope. No, that was probably my mistake. It's just
Tell
black.
Everybody you went gloss black.
I went gloss black. Yeah. I thought it looked the sharpest.
Red trim?
It's got a little bit of red trim, but I mean, it's very small, so you're not gonna be able to see it a ton.
Okay. It's an OEM that we shall not name.
Yeah, we're a Chevy podcast. So Chevy logo.
Let's keep that in mind when we're buying vehicles, Ben.
Yes.
Just sold a vehicle back home to a good friend of my dad's, a neighbor of ours back home. He just bought a new Chevy Silverado.
Was it one of the
last week
farm trucks?
He's a cowboy.
Nice.
Ralph Bond. He is probably the closest thing that the person that I know that should have been born 200 years ago.
Really?
He's an old soul.
Yeah, but he doesn't walk around with the hat and the belt buckle and the holsters.
He's a real cowboy. No, he's a real cowboy. He works cows. Does cattle. He has cow leases. He leases
Florida.
land. Oh yeah, cattle's big.
Is it? Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, I had my math wrong at one point, but it's a high cattle producing state.
Oh, good to know. Yeah. Well, I do think we have to address the elephant in the room that everybody has probably been asking you about the last few weeks, especially with it being March. March Madness. Your Gators just got eliminated last night from Iowa, number 9. So are you doing okay? And have you been following March Madness up until that point, of course?
Yeah. I mean, casually following. Look, very, very casual sports fan outside of racing. Don't understand the plays of basketball. I understand basic football plays, but I watch rugby with Al Neese, and he was a former rugby player.
What?
When he was a kid. And
he watches professional rugby?
Yeah, he loves it. He's been all over the world to watch rugby matches.
Really? I would not expect that.
Yeah. And I still tell him, I'm like, Al, he's trying to explain it to me, and I can't grasp it.
That's awesome, actually. I had no idea.
I never played basketball as a kid, so I just, no, they lost. Okay, there's next year. Sure. I mean, the chances of going back to back, okay.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Yeah. Well, obviously your bracket's busted because you made a bracket, right? I'm assuming.
Negative. No, I didn't make a bracket.
Do you watch you tried rugby, obviously. Do you watch any sports outside of, not that you're watching NASCAR, but do you pay attention to any sports?
I do. I would rather go to games.
Yeah, that's understandable.
We're going to go to a Knicks game this week. But yeah, love to go to the Swamp, watch Florida football. I've been to Dolphins games. I'd like to go to live sporting events. I like live music. I like to be there for the event. I'll travel and go, and it's never fun with traffic and stuff, but a couple buddies or whoever, family, and I love to do that. To turn on basketball throughout the week, no, not really here.
You're not like Dale Jr. asking about the Commanders when he's in the car, asking about score updates and everything. Like you're not that like if you're running an O'Reilly race on Saturday, or you're in the PRN booth or anything, like you're not looking at the Gators score or anything.
Only one time did I ever ask, and it was because I was racing in O'Reilly. Gosh, I don't know, a decade ago, and Daryl and I had put a bet on Tennessee, Florida. Bubba's a big volunteer fan. So I did ask. I knew it should have been about time the game was over. I knew when I went to the car when it was in the game, and I was like, it should be about over. I think I was 2 laps down. Didn't have any more sticker tires left. Everybody else was putting on their last set. I'm just like, yeah, I know we don't have stickers. So what's out. I'm just trying not to blow a tire. I think it was at Kentucky or something. I just remember. So
before the repave?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Rough.
Yeah. So that was probably rough.
So yeah, just not, just trying to make it to the end and ask. That's probably the only time I've ever thought of another sporting event.
Well, I guess the actual thing that people probably want to know about, it's been a few weeks now, but you've got a little bit to digest. But, your incident with Daniel Suarez at Vegas and everything that transpired afterwards. Do you have, I know people have seen your thoughts and opinions on it. Do you have anything else to expand upon it?
Nothing else. We're struggling to make it to the top 15 and battling, and that's where the battles are. And they're battles. If we were on the ride around truck this week, and somebody said it, we were in the first ride around truck because we qualified in the back, the trailer, and there was a group of 12 of us in there. And somebody said to Logano, who was back there with us, like, "Oh, welcome back here." Like, yeah, not used to this trailer, are you, bud? And he's like, "Oh, this is a lot more fun. Everybody's kind of cutting up." And then he's like, "But it's not going to be that way on the track because it's not. The back is brutal. You're trying to just get far enough ahead to not go another lap down. You've qualified bad, so you don't have a good pit selection, so you're getting blocked in. You're coming around people. It's just it sets it up when you qualify bad to be a tough day. So, Daniel and I, they're faster than us right now. Spire is, and look, we came together, and we don't get along off the track. Like, we just don't see things the same way. We can look at the same picture, and we're gonna describe to the sketch artist, or I should say that different. I guess we're going to look at the same person and we're going to describe them to the sketch artist different. Maybe is a good way to put it, if that makes sense. It could be the same person and we're going to describe different features about them. So I think that's okay. I think it's okay to not get along with everybody in a competitive, like a competition sport like NASCAR. And you just saw that boil over at the track. He wanted to talk. I listened. I didn't want to hear anything else once I'd heard enough, and wanted him away from me, and would react, hopefully would handle it different if I could have another crack at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well said. Yeah.
I don't know if that was well said, but I've already said everything. And we're now a week and a half, 2 weeks later. He's driving by me every week. I mean, he's 10 spots better at Darlington.
He ran very well. He ran inside the top 10 on a good chunk. So they've got it figured out.
7 car. Yeah. He drove by me so fast. I was like, "See you later, bud."
Yeah. I guess speaking of Darlington, you had a triple duty weekend.
Yeah.
When was the last time you did triple duty weekend, you think?
I don't think since I got to Cup.
Yeah.
When I first got to Cup in 21.
Full time
in 21 at Ganassi. The mindset was fewer races is what I was led down that path. And I agreed. And great. Yeah. If you're putting me in a Cup car, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yep. Whatever you say. And as we've went, continue to feel like I continue to evolve as a person, and physically and mentally, and feel like with the teams I have around me that we could handle it. And we presented it to Trackhouse this year, and they signed off on it, and agree that racing is good, all racing. And I see Ty Gibbs off in sprint cars, and people can criticize him for flipping out of the fence, and okay, but he thinks it's good. I think getting in a truck at Darlington is good. Completely different than the Cup car. The O'Reilly car, completely different than both. Noted. Cool. I want to race. And we signed up, and I thought we were going to get one Friday night.
Man, that was, I was standing on pit road, and I saw you take the white, and I was kind of watching the gap. I'm like, oh, all right, somebody's got to grab the watermelon. Somebody's got to grab the hats. And I come off a 4, and we're all just looking, we're kind of leaning over, trying to see. And we look, and I'm like, is that Corey Heim? I was like, oh, okay. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. And obviously you didn't know either. But,
and then you watch the replay and you're like, oh, he just drove by him.
Yeah. I mean, I think you probably went in the corner as you normally would, thinking you have enough gap or you don't have to.
I ran a great final lap.
Yeah.
I look back at the lap time. I look back at I put it at the limit, and I pushed really over the limit, through turn 2 and off the patch onto the backstretch. I was like, "Whoo, made it! Okay, that was close, but didn't have to lift. All right, that's good speed down the back." And I'm like, "Oh, the truck's 3 back. Okay, he got a good tow." We had it there 2 years ago with Sanchez in the 2 truck.
Yep.
Good draft, and was faster, but was on equal tires, and was able to seal him off into 3 and keep him from winning. We got the win 2 years ago, and then I just put it at the limit. I was at the limit of the front tires. We were too tight. Turned in the corner at the limit, slid into 3 with the fronts on the brake, got back to the gas, and heard the exhaust And I look over as I'm touching the gas, and it's like, oh, he's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I throttle up, and he just was on the gas driving by me. Like, it never had to slide up, didn't come up off the apron, completely had me cleared by the 3/4 mark of the corner.
And I felt like you had really good short run pace. It seemed like every restart, I probably halfway through stage 2 or beginning of stage 3, you had a restart. I was in the inside of 3 and 4, and you drove it in. I texted our group chat. I was like, he drove that thing. I can't remember who you passed, but I felt like you fired off pretty good. It probably was.
Caden.
Yeah, it might have been Caden.
No, I think I passed Corey to get to Caden, and then I just sat behind Caden.
Yeah, you sent it one of the restarts going into 3, and I was like, holy, like, so... nothing you really do about that.
I mean, definitely something I could do. Run the bottom.
I don't
run the flipping bottom.
I mean, you know,
just
better
go
than I
down
do,
there and then figure it out from there. If I could do it again, of course, go to the bottom, mirror, let McReynolds paint the picture. Brandon spotted all 3 races for me. I asked him this week, like, were you tired of me yet? I mean, that's every on track. He's looking and listening to me and looking at me. And he had really constructive feedback all weekend. But yeah, if we just handle that better, we go to the bottom, he paints the picture. I think he drives around me on the outside.
Yeah,
but he's at least going to get some dirty air.
Yeah.
He's going to get, I think he could just like drive either side of me, turn left and right. He was so much faster.
Yeah.
But, I look back at it, and it's, I don't know, we had 7-lap tires on whenever he pitted, and, he put on 7-lap tires, and we had 15 laps or 16 laps on our tires. So it just doesn't make sense. We were in the lead, like we had control, and we executed against everybody else on our equal tires. We executed through that whole stage well. I love how productive the track bar was for me this weekend. So on the trucks, which are like the old Cup chassis, and the O'Reilly cars are like the old Cup chassis, you've got the long truck arms, the old technology that mount the rear end to the chassis, and then you got the track bar on the very back, and Cup cars don't have that now. We raised that thing an inch, which is awesome, and it brought that truck to life. But definitely something I could have done. Definitely, like, has been in my mind. Great effort by Nice Motorsports, but when you're that close to winning, and we haven't won in 2 years with anybody at the team, nobody's won. So we are wanting to win. And I'll raise my hand and say, I did fence the 11 off of 2 on the restart. Carson got underneath him in turn 1, started stage 3. I've pushed Carson through and pushed another Chevy, and then got super tight and was breathing it, but not enough. And my tail did push his left front of his truck up, and he did flatten the right side, which I think affected his race. So definitely not what I want to do for Scott Zipadelli with a broken leg.
Yeah.
Caden trying to get his first win. Like, it was a great race. I thought it was going to be a great race amongst us 3. And I definitely did not want to do that to Caden. Like, wanted to race him, but fair, and hate that because I definitely affected the speed of their truck. So that's like definitely on me.
Speaking of Carson, how close were you to almost having your night end early?
Gosh.
On that, you were chasing him down for a little bit. He took the lead and kind of got a gap, but you were kind of slowly inching forward a little bit as the run went on. How close was that?
Yeah, when we got by Caden, we both checked out, and Carson was entering in the gray, like in the freshest asphalt, and he got out to a gap, and then he started coming back, and like, I was like, oh, his right front's gone. Like, he's getting tight. When he pounded the fence, then it made me question if the tire was going down. So I don't know if I was catching him because it was going down or because he was wearing it out. I don't think it blew out from wear, but he was running where nobody else was. And I was like, I got to gap down at least a quarter truck to keep air on my nose behind him. But he was kicking up dust and doing Carson those far things. It was impressive to watch. Left front's all kinked in. He'd already been to the back and driven back up there. So definitely would have been tough to I don't think I ever pass him, but a late caution and something, or, and we get to all reset on tires and maybe, but yeah, as I went by him, I checked the mirror as I went by him, and I thought I was getting clipped.
Yeah.
In the blurry glass mirror of a truck, you can't see out of the back of those things. I physically braced and mentally for getting hooked.
Did he touch you at all?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No. Luckily.
Yeah.
I kept my Darlington stripes to a very minimum.
That's good.
Like the truck, one touch in the race in 3 and 4. the O'Reilly car, one touch in 3 and 4, and then some front bumper pushes gone wrong. I got into Ryan Sieg late in the race, trying to get by a couple of them, coming back through the field, and just about turned him on the backstretch. The backstretch, for some reason, in both the O'Reilly and Cup car, were really hard to go straight for me.
Really?
Both of my cars were wearing the left rear out, and it was wanting to spin me to the right.
Really?
Very, very bad sensation. Do not like it.
Yeah. So
And
you're just getting wheel spin as you're
It's
going,
not
or
like revving up, but I'm having to
Fight it.
swerve.
Yeah.
And you could see a shot of me in the O'Reilly race, and then you can see it in the practice was really bad in the Cup car. But like I am part throttle sometimes and lifting on the straightaway and then going back wide open, or sometimes just holding 80% just to I just want to get to the next corner and see what the balance is. I don't really want to try to wreck on the straightaway. I waved off Ty Gibbs in practice to pit, and when I turned left to go down the lane, and then I waved, and then I swerved back up, it was like leaving black marks, he said.
Really?
And I then lifted and shot down to the apron. So I got into Ryan's, had some front bumper contact there. And then the Cup car, just the fender, no wheel action. So that all plays into our next interview.
Yeah.
Michael Too Tall Madill.
You're too tall. You're front end mechanic.
He
Recently switched to front end mechanic.
Yeah. No toe links for me this weekend. No bent housings.
Wow.
No track bar mounts bent. I mean, this is breaking news for me. Very clean weekend on my side.
It was, especially with having
3
two
attempts
additional,
to go to Darlington and trying to make speed, not fast enough, trying to go faster, running the wall. Yeah, pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
Still made speed up there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't plug it qualifying. Saw some guys plugging it in the Cup car. So Too Tall did not have to do any toe work, no link work, no post qualifying fixes. Had a small scrape on the body, but nothing in the wheel.
It's awesome.
Let's kick it to our interview brought to you by Georgia Boot with our front end mechanic on the #1 Trackhouse Chevy, Michael Too Tall Madill. All right, guys. Today, our guest here in the studio at the farm is going to be Michael Madill. He is the front end mechanic on the #1 car. Has a bit of an odd nickname. It makes more sense once you meet him, but I'm going to learn about where that nickname came from because I have no idea. I knew the nickname long before I knew the actual name. So welcome into the barn here, buddy.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
Nice to check it out finally.
Was it what you expected when you got here?
I don't know what to expect. So yes, I think it's very fitting for everything you try to do.
Yeah. I feel like it was very intentional to have the trophy here, the Coke machine behind us. Everything was very thought out. Miss Kim at the front desk was very worried when we were coming in and getting stuff. Ben was trying to get trophies and stuff. And she was, I had to message her and be like, it's okay. Ben's safe.
We'll bring it back when we're done.
I guess we'll take it back. I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't have anything in the house. No shrine of any kind of trophies, but out here is different.
Yeah. It's a nice place to drink beer and, look at it and obviously, pay honor to that night in particular.
Yeah. And the chip on the bottom of the trophy is pretty fitting for the 600.
Yeah. It kind of wraps up the whole weekend, I think.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be about you though, not about our past. Why the nickname and what is it? Tell the folks what it is.
So nickname's Too Tall. I've been here for actually almost 18 years now. And one of my first jobs was working at Mid-Valley, rebuilding transmissions, kind of learned the ropes about transmissions and gears back then. And our sales rep, I forget, maybe a college buddy of his he played baseball with, had similar height, 6'7" for those of you wondering. And I guess his name was Too Tall, so he just started calling me Too Tall, and it's stuck ever since. Like, there are many people that don't know my real name.
I didn't know it for a long time.
It's common to come across, and Facebook was a good way to meet people back in the day, and I actually had to change my Facebook name to say Michael Too Tall Madill so that people knew who I was.
You're from Arizona, but you said you moved here 18 years ago. What was that move like?
Terrifying. You're kind of racing's not very big in Arizona, short of like a few local dirt tracks. So to say that you're up and leaving to go chase the dream, and not knowing anybody out here, luckily I moved with a buddy. We had raced street stocks together back home, and we just kind of came out together and tried to make it big time auto racing.
Did you drive over or fly?
So I drove with my dad. I had a 2007 Chevy Colorado single cab short bed, and it was a 30-hour drive with just me and my dad.
Straight.
Hotel. We stopped in Oklahoma City and in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Have you ever been back to either one of those hotels?
I couldn't even tell you where they were because I was sick the entire.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you made your dad drive.
I drove probably the first. I think I drove us to Albuquerque.
Okay,
and then I got. It was pretty bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your dad? What do you think your dad was thinking driving his son? You were how old at the time?
I was 19.
Yep.
I think he was just kind of a sense of like scared but proud at the same time. Like, you know, the oldest of, you know, 3 children, not necessarily going to college, but, you know, leaving the house for the first time. But I think looking back at it, he was probably, you know, the father-son talk of, you know, whatever you want to talk about over the next 30 hours, you know, we've got time. And, you know, we didn't talk much because I couldn't talk.
What about your siblings? You said you have two siblings? 2
younger siblings, 2 sisters. They're 4 or 5 years younger than me. The oldest of the 2 lives in Scotland. She went to college there. She's a veterinarian. Always wanted to be a veterinarian, so it's kind of cool that, you know, kind of have that in common. I always wanted to work on race cars. She always wanted to work on animals. And then my youngest sister, Samantha, actually just moved out here with us too. So we're kind of building our own little compound, and she's going to have an apartment of her own out at my house. So
now, what all pulls out of your driveway? You obviously get up every morning, go to track house. Well, what about your wife, Lindsay?
So my wife, Lindsay, started a business a few years ago, Joy Coffee Company. She has a coffee truck. And it actually is permanently parked in Mooresville now, but it used to be parked in our shop. And then it kind of moves about throughout the week. So Lindsay, she does leave after me, but it's generally to take our daughter to school.
When she started it, she was driving it, right? And moving and going to different spots. And
yeah, full time up until, really earlier this year, last year.
Yeah.
When it became permanently parked in Mooresville. So she would just drive all over Lake Norman, Charlotte area, Matthews, Gastonia, you know, just kind of all over the place, wherever, chasing the money.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So you mentioned earlier street stock racing with your buddy. Did you drive?
I had my own street stock, started in go-karts. The first full-size car I actually drove wasn't even street legal. It was an IMCA modified. My uncle used to race, and then that kind of got the itch to go dirt racing. So you could imagine by the time I would have been moving out of go-karts, I was too tall for them. So it was either, you know, get a bigger go-kart or a full-size car. So we purchased my first street stock in, I think, maybe 2 or 3 years racing that. And then the opportunity to race the modified came. My uncle was getting out of it. And instead decided to move here.
Yeah. Was that tough?
Not really, because I think my mind was already set up about the time that I could have got the modified. So no, I mean, I missed it, but naturally got into racing my own again later. So
and what was that in over here?
A go-kart. First, the D&Q series, I think, is actually maybe how we first met.
I believe so.
Out at now Trackhouse Motorplex.
It was.
I think it was Wednesday nights originally when it opened up. Was Tuesday or Wednesday nights was when you saw a lot of that NASCAR community out there. And then Eddie started his series, and then which eventually turned into the dirt series it is now. Kind of just got outmoneyed on that situation. So I was like, oh, we'll just go spend more money in a different series, which, was the Outlaw Kart and then now a micro.
Yeah. I do have to tell on myself to everybody. We've raced micros against each other out at Millbridge, which is only a few miles away from here. And you definitely passed me, drove by me, gave me the deuces in the B main.
I don't recall it going that way.
Was it the heat or the B?
It was a B main, and I'm pretty sure you lifted.
Yeah.
But
I had already smoked the fence a couple times and didn't want my bill at Carver's to go up anymore.
That's fair because I've heard he's expensive.
It's easy. It's all electronic. Just whatever electronic transactional company you'd like to use, he takes all kinds.
That's fair.
Yeah. I can't blame him. He's running a business, so
he's doing pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Cars are fast, just not with me driving it. So when you're not helping your wife with the coffee truck, you're not raising your child. Let's not forget about you are a dad.
Yep.
What's that been like? I've known you way before and now watch you grow into a dad. What's it like? What's that like for as you go through that and your career keeps progressing to be a dad now?
It's awesome. It is honestly the greatest part of living, in my opinion. To wake up each morning, give her a kiss goodbye, watch her grow, watch her learn new things. I mean, she's, roughly a year and a half old, and hard at the same time. As you've been doing this a long time. It's, get into the routine of, getting up on Friday, leaving to go to the racetrack, come home late Sunday night. We get Mondays off and get to kind of spend the day with her, but now she's in, a school, daycare. So she's gone during the week. But it's amazing. I wouldn't trade anything in the world for having that experience. And I really need to give props to my wife too, because she's the household manager. And I think a lot of the guys on the road would hopefully admit that is the reality. But just to kind of like go back on that, it's, I got to drop her off right before Daytona at school. And, the teacher's like, oh, we'll see you later this afternoon. And I'm like, I'll see you next Monday.
Yeah.
But that's hard. I think the beginning of the year is hard. And once we get into our routine, it's going to be great. It's great.
So what is a routine? What's your week? You're off Mondays and then in the shop. How many days usually before we leave again? Post-COVID, our NASCAR schedules have evolved, I would say, and you've lived through all of that. So what's your week like in a snapshot for everybody?
Honestly, it's kind of gone back to how like pre-COVID. We would typically have Mondays off, then Tuesday and Wednesday be in the shop. Generally 10 to 12 hours. It's gotten a little bit different, obviously, with the next gen car versus the Gen 6 car, kind of how those 2 days are structured. Then Thursdays are generally our off days. We used to typically fly out on Thursday nights just because the track schedule was different back then, pre-COVID. Now we get the opportunities to fly out on Fridays because Fridays may just be a tech day. And then also, geographically where we may be going. Saturdays are typically a little bit shorter. If we had a tech day Friday, we just practice qualify, head back to the hotel, catch a little nap, watch the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race or the Craftsman Truck Series race. And then Sunday it's, back to business, getting the last details prepped pre-race and go through the race and start all over again on Monday.
Do you get nervous on race day?
I used to. Now I only get nervous if I have to go over the wall, which thankfully doesn't happen often. But if crash damage is required, the heart rate goes up.
Does it? Do you track it?
I do wear a watch, and I will typically look back. Resting heart rate for me is somewhere between 60 and 70. I think this year I've been a lot calmer during the race on Sundays. But if I have to go over the wall, it's usually I'll kind of spike up to like 120.
Do you have to keep gloves on when you go over?
You don't have to.
Okay, that's not a rule.
I think initially they wanted you to at least start with gloves, but if you start working with like Bear Bond or something like that,
it looks terrible.
So now it's just
understood. What's it like been like switching from the back of the car to the front of the car? Is there anything that surprised you?
I think if it was the Gen 6 car, it would have been a much tougher transition. But since the front and rear is so similar on these next gen cars, it's, the nuts and bolts of it, I think, are easy. I mean, I've been a mechanic for long enough. It's just nuts and bolts. Learning how front hoses work versus rear hoses work for, the brake cooling is maybe a little bit more of my week than it was, at the back of the car.
Mm-hmm. Does Stan come to you with questions, our new rear end mechanic?
Lots of questions. He's learning a lot, but he's doing a great job too. He is way further ahead where he's at than when, I was his age. He's doing a great job.
Gotcha. Has there been anything since you've been on the one car, I've actually wondered this for a while, that you caught late, like before the race or right before practice, it would have been an issue if it made it on track? Has Gen 7 had those kind of like catastrophic issues right before we went on track?
In my personal area, not that I can recall, no. I think that's just why I think our group's foundation has been so good. This is my 5th year with you. And that if we do catch something, whether it's Barrow or previously Josh, like we get to it quick enough that it's, don't get me wrong. There's times that like the light, flickers and it's like, oh, I forgot to do this, or, but there's never been like anything major. No.
It's good to hear as the driver.
Yeah. I think the big thing is too, that that's why we have safety culture at work, is just that checklist of just going over everything. I mean, there's a lot of people that touch these race cars and we're the last ones. So, there's enough of a procedure that there's enough hands on everything to just make sure that the cars are perfect before they leave. We may come across things post practice or qualifying, but nothing that we can't manage.
You said earlier you wear a watch that tracks your heart rate. What's your step count? I hear people all the time talking about steps, so I'm curious what you get at the track.
At the track, I mean, it can be anywhere from 8 to 14,000 steps. India is obviously a big one. Phoenix, when they used to make us go all the way around the garage area to push through tech, was higher. Same with Richmond, but yeah, usually 10 to 12. It's really not that much.
I heard the truck guys talking about St. Pete was a high amount, and the track was hot the whole time, so they only had a couple of minutes throughout the day at a time to get across, and we have to push everything, where like all the IndyCar stuff is on tugs with carts, like motorized carts, and they're pulling like boxes, carts, and then the actual race cars all in a convoy.
Those IndyCar guys are onto something.
Yeah. What about after the race? Okay, we get done, we pack the hauler up. What's your routine like? I'm usually like making a sandwich after the race. Like I'm up there with the pit crew guys. We're making sandwiches. When you get done and you change out of because you dress out for the race, you're in a full fire suit to go over the wall if you're needed. What's your routine like from there, I guess, until you wake up, say on Monday?
Pretty relaxed. I'm not yelling at Andy for a bologna sandwich. I think is probably the first thing. But yeah, just getting out of the fire suit, getting that put away, grab my backpack, putting on the polo, stuff like that. Helping load the bottom of the hauler with the truckers. And, then it's a mad race back to the airport. For those of you watching, if you see a convoy of minivans, going at a high rate of speed, maybe it's probably a bunch of mechanics.
Why is it we all know we're going, we all know we're walking out of the garage together, but I guess the ultimate thing is you don't want to be the last one to your plane to hold it up.
Yeah. I think LA 2 years ago, there was that storm when we raced on Saturday, and I think it was Sunday morning we all flew out. I heard that there was one guy that didn't wake up, and that plane got stuck there for an additional 8 hours or something. Ooh. So yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
No.
But yeah, just getting to the plane, grabbing a meal, a water, and sitting down, opening the iPad, and just, kind of watching a movie, depending on how long the flight is, and trying to catch a little bit of sleep before getting home. Depending on how late it is, Lindsay may still be awake to, kind of greet and ask how the weekend was, and then start planning the next week, and then getting a few hours. And, here soon, Mondays will be my mowing days.
Isn't that a great? It's a great spot to be at in life. I'm the same. Mine isn't Monday, but it's definitely a day of the week.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna mow.
Yeah. Mine may not be Mondays, but one of my off days, it'll be mowing season here soon.
I'm getting close out here.
I'm getting stragglers out there. Maybe some, some onion, that might be growing a little bit, but that's about it.
On the radio, what's the worst thing to hear when do you sit behind the box? Are you on the side of the pit wall or behind the pit box? Where do you sit?
I kind of move around. I like watching lap times. So if I'm sitting there and I'm watching lap times, or, the TV, the live feed, they're not always on you. So the worst thing to hear is lock it down. And that's when you see everybody starting to put their helmets on and grabbing their gloves and mad dash to get to the air guns and stuff to be ready, and then it's the feeding of information that, okay, what do we need to attack?
And the best thing to hear?
Usually a victory lane celebration,
screaming.
Yeah, just screaming. Yeah, you do scream a lot.
I'll scream. I try not to push the button a lot because I like to hear what everybody else is saying, and haven't heard McSwain yet.
Yeah,
but Phil Surgeon, he goes to another level. Yeah. His voice does not ever. It only sounds like that in that moment. Even by the time I get to him, he doesn't sound like that. But crossing the line when he first keys up on his belt button, it's another octave that I didn't know that the Surgeon family had in him.
He's impressive, yes. And it had been a while, honestly, and since I'd been in Victory Lane up until COTA, I hadn't been in Victory Lane since like 2016, so it had been a long time for me. Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah. So when I was on the 24 car, both of Williams' wins were during COVID while I was there, and I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
But that's okay. That's the past.
Dang. That's the past.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. I never would have thought. I thought being over there, I didn't think about COVID and you not being there. So glad we got that at COTA.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a big weekend. It was fun.
That was a fun plane ride home.
Yeah. Little rowdy.
Yeah. As we interview different guests this year, we wanted to find a way to tie everybody's conversation together. So we're going to do a segment called the Homegrown Challenge. We're going to give each guest 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can pertaining to your home state. So we'll change the state for each person, unless they're also from Arizona. So be thinking about Arizona. I've got a list of trivia questions for you. Do you know Arizona well?
Not as well as I bet.
Yeah. Okay. I feel the same way about Florida.
I feel like Harry's probably going to win this one.
If we let him on the show.
Yeah. Have the beeper ready.
What is the capital of Arizona?
Phoenix.
What crop is Arizona most famous for?
Corn. Cotton. Oh, no, cotton.
What is Arizona's nickname?
Ooh. Is it... Oh, man. Copper State?
That's good. Who is the governor of Arizona?
No clue.
Katie Hobbs. How many colors are in the Arizona state flag?
4.
Name 3 NASCAR drivers past or present from Arizona.
JJ Yaley. Michael McDowell. I don't have the third.
What is the state fruit of Arizona?
No idea.
What major water source supports much of Arizona agriculture?
Lake Mead.
What?
That was
Colorado River. Does that feed Lake Mead? I'm pretty sure. I think so.
It's the river or the lake up there by the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
I think actually feeds it.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming on here with me.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Georgia Boot has you a set of boots.
Oh man, thank you.
Probably best suited for your first mowing day of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to wear them. I don't know if you want to wear them at the shop or not. I know you're a big Vans guy.
Yeah, but I do own some boots, so this will be a nice addition. So thank you.
You're a minimalist sole guy.
Yes.
Very flat.
Yes.
Don't need any heel raise or toe drop.
Nope. Can't have it.
Can't afford it. Cool, buddy. Well, enjoy the boots.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Be mowing time in no time.
Hopefully a couple weeks.
Big thanks to Georgia Boot and Too Tall for taking time to jump on the show today. Next up, Martinsville.
Martinsville, yeah. But before you and I are going to the next game,
We are.
on Tuesday, I guess it'll be a few days before this by the time this comes out. But the Knicks and the Pelicans, that'll be cool.
Pelicans on a heater right now.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking before we started recording, and their records are the opposite of each other. Knicks are like 47-25, and the Pelicans are 25-47. So should be a barn burner.
I don't care. As long as it's a live sport.
Right.
I want to watch athletes compete.
Yep.
I'm excited to sit there and have a beer.
Me too. Yeah.
You think they're going to have Busch Light?
I think they will.
I don't. They might be a Bud Light.
Facility. Actually, I think they're Mick Ultra when I was looking. They might have it still,
It's
though.
going to taste good.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah.
Maybe I heard some sort of loaded nacho. Or would you go, I might go like pork sandwich.
It depends.
Barbecue is like a thing at all these indoor stadiums. Like these stadiums.
Not New
now.
York, though.
What do you think they're going to have? Fried chicken?
I don't know. Some of them
What are you
have
gonna do?
different, maybe Wendy's.
You think there's some sort of nod to a Nashville hot chicken? That's popular.
Yeah,
right now.
probably. I was looking on their website, and they do have a spicy chicken sandwich.
With
That's
probably
good.
pimento cheese.
Ugh. It's New York. I don't think they have pimento. I
Really?
hate pimento cheese.
What?
Yeah, totally. I hate it. I can't get on it. I'm sorry. A lot of people are not going to be happy with that.
I mean,
I don't
all
like
30 people out here listening.
Better than Amigos vlog.
Oh, the vlog.
The vlog.
We got some time on it. Even though that wasn't an official one, he did get on to keep it spicy. They're not going to do as many. They're going
was
to
quick.
the alternate weeks. And then, yeah, I just want to sit there, eat good food,
Yep.
watch a sport. I'm off to Iowa the next day.
Yeah, I was going to say, my point I was going to bring up with the March Madness thing. Take it easy on all the Iowa people when you're there.
They're just
you're
gonna be laughing
grieving
at me.
right now. Yeah. It was a close game, though. But yeah, they probably will still be.
Wait, now I'm confused.
What?
I told you I didn't watch the game. Did Florida really win?
No. Iowa won, but it was a close game.
Yeah, why are you saying that they're grieving?
No, you're grieving.
Yeah. I thought you said they're. I was like, wait
No,
a minute.
no,
What are you
no,
talking
you're
about?
grieving.
I thought they
Yeah,
were.
no, you're grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to laugh at it. They'd be like, hi.
No, they will. Yeah.
They'll welcome me in and invite me to their next game. Are those new Georgia boots size 10?
9.5, I think. Weirdly enough.
Lace ups. Went with the lace ups.
Yeah. That's just what I was given.
Hey.
Thank you, Georgia Boot. But yeah, that's what I was given. Good. Breaking them in.
Get them broke in here at the
Yep.
farm, couple shows,
Yep.
then take them to the track. Don't go fresh out of the box straight to the track.
Yeah.
Long day of walking for you. Boots, they become part of your feet, man.
They do. Yeah. Especially when you put them on.
I know you're not a big boot guy. Appreciate the effort.
I wear boots. I'm used to like snow boots, though.
Are those waterproof?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
They look like they could be.
Maybe. Yeah. They're
Okay.
comfy so far. I mean, I haven't walked around a ton with them yet, but I like them.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, so at Iowa, I'm going to be doing some pace car rides with some
cool.
government folks out there and looking at the track and doing some media. Be racing there later this summer.
Yep.
See what the track looks like. It's going to have gone through another Iowa winter, which is, I can't imagine. Florida boy here doesn't know.
Yeah.
I know you could probably
Yeah.
appreciate it, but
I don't appreciate it. That's why I'm not there anymore.
yeah.
Not in Iowa, but I'm a Minnesota boy. But yeah, that's why I'm not there anymore.
Yep.
So
Well, I'm up here just for racing because this
Yep.
always feels cold in Carolina to me.
Yeah. It is.
Like we're harvesting watermelons in Florida. They're just putting the seed in the greenhouse for North Carolina. That's how long the growing seasons are apart. So
wow.
Not to tie everything back to watermelons, but that's how my mind. That's how my mind works.
That's fair. Understood. Yeah.
Then come back, and then I got the O'Reilly race with Mario Goslin, DGM.
Yep.
Got back in the 91.
Right on.
Where were you at in 2022? Are you working in the sport yet?
Working at Dirty Mo. Yeah.
Mario called Philip on like a random Saturday, asking if any Cup drivers would be interested in driving his car at COTA. For the first time, the second time, I guess the sport was going there. It might have been 21 now. I'm confused.
2020 was the first year. So that's when they had the rain race in the Cup.
21.
It was 21?
Yep. I was in the 42.
Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah.
So maybe I went the first year, got in Bobby Dotter's car, and then the second year, the rain was Bobby Dotter in 21. 22, I went with Mario. Okay.
Yeah.
And Philip said, I don't know. I'll call around and see. He hung up, and I was like, Philip, I'll do it. He's like, you will? I was like, yes, let's call Doug Ducart and Chip Ganassi and ask him. But yeah, I want to. And we went there and qualified second, and we're going to run second to Allmendinger. That was when he was winning all those O'Reilly races.
Yeah.
Like, Colleague was it. And ran second to him, and then actually Landon Castle spun me out at the end of the race.
Right.
In my former 10 car.
I forgot that he had his Colleague tenure.
I left the 10 at the end of 2020 and went to the Ganassi Cup car. Took my Cup shot, like got that opportunity and was like, yeah, I'm going. And Jeb ran it a year and then Landon. Jeb ran it in 21 and then Landon in 22. So that's how my Mario story started. We used to be competitors on the O'Reilly field. Him and I at Pocono one time got into it.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he tried to wreck Smithley, and I stood up for Smithley, and then Mario was not happy with me.
I wouldn't mess with Mario.
No,
personally.
I learned very quickly I wanted to be his friend.
Yeah.
Lives down in Florida, has his shop down there, works on everything himself. We were talking at Darlington, he's going to set the brakes. The motor was already in, the driveline was in. They were wrapping it this week, but he does all of like the install work and putting the cars together. It's an old JTG car.
Nice.
A lot of these O'Reilly cars are former Cup cars, and JTG used to build their own chassis. That tells you how long ago that was, because Gen 7's been around for a while. So it's one of Mario's motors, like his full effort. Excited to go feel it. They've had great breaks at the road courses when I've driven their cars. So Rob Goodman, a mechanic on the team, was with me for a lot of years at Johnny Davis, which Johnny was at the track.
I saw that. Yeah. They did like a big group photo with a lot of people that worked and raced there.
I missed the picture, but saw Johnny, did say hey, shook his hand. The Zero car did look similar to the old Zero.
The number nothing.
It was wrapped though, and if they really wanted to do it, which it's illegal now in O'Reilly, but they needed to paint it.
Those were painted cars?
Yeah, steel body cars.
Yep.
They painted, and the paint booth was in part of the old carpet factory, and the gutters were on the inside of the paint booth.
Really?
That tells you what kind of operation it was in there. And then eventually they built a different one in the steel building, which was an old warehouse. But yeah, they're in Gaffney, man. Garrett and I, a couple people and I were there at the same time, but a lot of drivers and crew members got their start there. And not that my start was there, but I spent 4 years there. And look, we didn't end on great terms, but had 4 good years. We had 3 great years. The last year, not so good. And I eventually moved on to run the truck full time for Nice that year, and that didn't go over well in Gaffney, but it was great to see Johnny. He looked good, and hear about his rental homes and all the classic cars and hot rods he's building, and catch up on him and his family. So it was good to see. But yeah, needed to be that red paint and needed to have some bubbles in it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did not have enough fish eyes in that wrap.
Yeah.
Used to call them the golf balls. The golf ball goes through the air better because it's imperfect.
Yeah.
I don't know they ever went through the air better, but it was great to see. Need to qualify well. It's so important. In Cup cars, you get to pick your pit stall based on the current week qualifying, where like O'Reilly, like whoever's in the 9, Lee Pulliam will have to pick 9th, or Philip Bell will have to pick 9th because I qualified 9th last week. So McReynolds going to spot that. So like that group I normally work with is over there with Lee. Told him can't wait to race him.
Yeah.
Gonna get to race with a legend, like a short track legend.
Yeah.
Lee
Huge.
Pulliam. This is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't really personally, I mean, I know, but I don't care how it goes. I'm just glad that he's getting the chance to feel the car. Because until you feel it, you can watch them, you can study them, you can like think, oh, I win at this different track, this different car. But until you feel a certain race car, and I can say that about like a big block modified, a dirt super late model, a IMCA dirt modified, all the asphalt stuff I've driven in dirt. Till you drive it, you just can't even comprehend it, is my opinion. And I wish more people could drive race cars, even if it's just like on a track day, on a Tuesday when no one's around. Like you could go drive a micro sprint car around Millbridge. You like Ben would have a totally different perspective of micro sprint car racing.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Let me know. We can do some content around it.
No, the point would be no content and just let you feel the race car in its purest form.
I'm saying that we get somebody to pay for it, so you don't have to pay for it, right?
Listen, maybe we start with a street stock.
Oh, let's start with the street stock.
Yeah, look, the street stock is easier than the micro.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, these kids that get straight in micros, I'm like, I don't understand how they can do it.
Yeah.
I had to start in something a lot slower and bigger and then didn't go to the micro.
Okay.
I would have never made it living in North Carolina starting out racing. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Florida was where I needed to be to learn.
I mean,
needed a long time.
Yeah, it's also just the era now where people are getting it when they're like 4 or 5.
There was kids back then doing it too. There's kids down there racing go-karts when they were young.
I guess, yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like now it's everybody's doing that direct path of starting early and often.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to do all this. Like, not to get into the weeds on driver careers, but you can start. I was 12. I don't see any problem starting at 12 now. If the natural ability is there, you can learn, you can learn quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I would say have them around vehicles, have them driving at a young age, somewhere off public roads.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you in Martinsville.
I'll be in Martinsville. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Be there on Sunday.
NASCAR race number 3 for you. He's trying to say that he's been to 4 races, but he's counting like St. Pete,
which was a truck race.
And then also you're trying to count the truck race at Darlington,
which is a race. Last time I checked, that was a NASCAR race.
No, NASCAR is on Sunday.
NASCAR is whenever they schedule
on Friday.
it.
NASCAR truck is on Friday, so you don't get credit unless you're there. Really, it should be the full weekend. And I say that because I have to be there the full weekend. So all y'all that talk about taking weekends off, I just don't. There's no sympathy here. You want to be in NASCAR? We travel.
Yeah.
Some people don't like to fly, and they're they don't stay on the road. I get it, but hey, come on.
I don't have the big bucks,
You're going to
space it out.
You're going to eat Martinsville hot dogs, speaking of big bucks. There's no pimento cheese on it.
Yeah, I know. I tell myself every year, the first time I went, I housed like 5, and I do not like hot dogs whatsoever.
Well, these don't really count as normal hot dogs.
Yeah, because they have so much other stuff on it. Every year, I tend to have one. I'll have one every trip just to do it, but I'm not doing what I did the first time, and I housed several. So
I'll usually do one when I get there and 1 or 2 for the ride home.
Yeah.
Gotta, sometimes I grab them pre-race though. They gotta sit because they'll be out after the race. I've walked out from the car on pit road and walked straight to the hot dog stand in the infield. And she's like, "I'm sorry, sweetie, we're all out."
I thought you were saying you eat one right before you get in the car.
No. When I get there in the weekend, hours before practice.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked.
No. Just my final stretch by the door. A hot dog all the way. Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Easy ride up the road.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I love going up there during the fall with the colors changing.
It feels like the fall.
It does. Yeah, now it's pitch black out.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah,
wow. We have been here too long. Thanks for checking out Ag to Asphalt, presented by Fresh from Florida and powered by Like a Farmer. Now tune in to the Like a Farmer YouTube page or wherever you listen to your audio podcasts every other Thursday, where we're going to try to get these episodes out. And we'll see you in the next episode.